It is a beautiful fall day, and we are at the Goodwill today. We're about to head in and see what we can find that we can flip for a profit. The last time we were at this Goodwill, I accidentally found some Fire and Light recycled glass, which I've been searching for forever, and at the time I did not realize that's what it was. So today I'm hoping to find some more, but let's get in and see what we can find. Here we go. So we begin here in the Christmas aisle and spotted this nice little hand-painted bowl. It was marked 1996. It was vintage, but I'm just really not ready for Christmas yet. Those were Dagny's hands. Dagny is with us. I put it back. I can't Christmas yet. First comes Halloween. Here we have, I believe these are Goodwill knockoffs. They're probably made in Japan. I liked this clock. I liked the clocked face, actually. That's what attracted me to it, but it was damaged. You can see the chip there on the little boy's umbrella. Dagny found a belly dancing skirt, which she is modeling for us. These were interesting because they were plastic. I was not expecting them to be plastic. However, they were little plastic cups. Dagny has been looking for a model for her vintage hats, and I thought this could be the perfect opportunity right now. She disagreed. For a second, I thought this was glass, so I had to pick it up just to see. It was not glass. It was indeed plastic. I liked the little reindeer on this, but obviously it was missing some other element. Now on the back of the shelf here, I spotted a Dorothy Thorpe piece. This is a silver band. You can see the solid silver band around the edge. I suspect this may have been a chip and dip set that was missing its little clip that would have gone on the edge. Dorothy Thorpe only made the silver band. When I first started thrifting, I thought that she was also responsible for the silver fade, but she did not make a silver fade. So, silver band is Dorothy Thorpe. They wanted $6.99 for this, and I felt like that was just a little too high, so I did walk away. This kind of reminded me of a false graph design, and yes, I did pick it up. I set it back down. This little lemon timer was interesting. I've never seen one like that before. Usually they're white and boring. My parents used to use them to time my timeouts in my room when I was bad. All sorts of fond memories of timers. This was more than likely made in China. Creamer and sugar sets, I'm always looking at those. Back here, I spotted this candlestick. It appeared to be elegant glass. It said pear. Unfortunately, there was only a single. I'm not familiar with the pattern, but I found the pattern interesting, and that's why I decided to take a closer look. However, clear glass is very hard to picture. I mean, I have a really hard time taking pictures of it for eBay, so I may have passed anyway, even if I found its friend. Down here, we have a nice piece of china. It is not marked on the bottom, but it's more than likely European. It was a transfer with just little hand-painted details, so technically you could say hand-painted.
That's fun.
Ooh, is that Lennox?
I'm gonna say Lennox.
Lennox jewel.
It's the jeweled elephant tea bag. See?
That's fancy. Ooh, you spotted it.
That's neat. I like that. It's $6.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like I've never seen the teapot before. You should look up comps.
I'll look it up.
I feel like you should. And I left her to look up comps because I was easily distracted by other things. Like those bookends down at the end of the aisle that I feel like I've looked at before, and they've got chips on them. And they were $4.99. So maybe not. Maybe not as exciting as the elephant, but I tried. So the comps here say that the teapot sells for about $50. So even for $6.99, I told Dagny, put it in the cart. I will share my cart with you. The only condition is you now have to push it, and we'll go from there. She agreed. I found this piece right here. It obviously had made its way into the wrong aisle. This is not the clear aisle, but it is what it is. There's a bowl, wrong aisle. I should just start rearranging. Now I did spot this Jack in the Pulpit vase all the way on the other side of the aisle, and I reached across to grab it. It did have a giant chip, which was unfortunate. I would have been very devastated had it been Murano, but this was just a Chinese piece, so it really wasn't that upsetting, but it's really sad to see any glass with a chip. This copper piece, it was nice, but I'm just not ready to embrace the copper yet. I'm not quite there. The brass is growing on me, the copper, not so much. The pillar candle was nice, though. Maybe this is recycled glass. Maybe not. Housework makes you ugly. I really liked this plate, but I just don't know what I would do with it. I would probably gift it to someone as a joke, honestly. Instead, I left it on the shelf. Dagny found this lacquered plate. It was a wood lacquered plate. It just wasn't really speaking to me. I said, "Do you want it?" She said no. I put it back. I did like this ashtray, and I considered buying it only because I still have nothing in the cart, but I told myself to be patient. I will find something. There will be something for me on the shelves. Like this tiki mug. There you go. Now we're talking. A nice tiki mug. It does have a little bit of damage, but I'm willing to overlook the damage on this tiki mug. I like tiki mugs. This Pooh Bear piece also caught my eye. I'm not really into the Disney stuff, but Dagny occasionally does do stuff with Disney, so I pointed it out to her. But there was some damage and some wear, and so we left it. But all signs pointed to the fact that this was not a real Louis Vuitton, and so I left it. I liked this little demi-tasse cup. It was marked Huschenruther, and I butcher that every time I say it. But what was strange about the mark was it was cut off at the beginning and the end, and I don't think I've seen that before, so I decided to leave it. Here we have a raku glazed piece. It was $1.99. I'm basing the raku off of the fact that the bottom looks charred. Usually raku has something to do with fire, and so somewhere on the piece it looks like it's been in a fire. That's usually how I base my raku knowledge off of is, hey, look, this is charred. This must be raku. Aren't you guys happy you depend on me for my knowledge? And if all else fails, they'll let me know in the comments. We've got a little leopard here. I didn't like the original sale price on the bottom. It told me that it probably wouldn't sell for much. I did come back to this piece. It looked silver. It was probably silver plate, and all of the pieces that would have gone into it were missing, so we also have bath bombs. Juliet wanted to buy bath bombs at Target the other day, and I told her I could get them elsewhere for cheaper, and that was my chance, but I passed on it. These cups are a bit of nostalgia for me. I recall having these cups at some point in my life, and so I did take them out to get a closer look at them, and they were marked. They were actually marked House, which I know House Glass made a lot of those large green jadeite lamps, so I found that interesting. I'm not sure if it's the same house or not, but I did like these glasses. There were 4 of them. 4 is a set, and I decided that I would take these with me and list them for Christmas. We've got a pterodactyl here. He looks like he would hang from a rope, but somebody has taken his rope. This looks like a vintage box, and it looked like it could be promising. So we needed to look inside. Unfortunately, Dagny was there to help, and it was boring. It was just a hurricane globe. So false alarm. I did spot this, not those. This piece. It was frosted glass. It was hand painted, but I saw a retail value of about $10. So I passed on that. Now I did spot this satin glass tidbit tray. I believe this is made by Tiffin, and I just loved the blue color. I thought, ooh, it looks a little icy. It's perfect for winter. It needs to go in my cart for $1.99, and it did. There it is in my cart. I had to turn over the teacup. Unfortunately, I had a modern mark on the bottom. Up here, I've seen this piece a lot. I believe it's made to mimic Perrier. However, I think it's more of a hobbyist piece because I've seen it painted various colors. Dagny was looking at something else, and she revealed this beautiful vanity tray. It was Bavaria. It was hand painted / transferware, our favorite little nuance. It was $2.99, and even though I considered it heavily, I decided to leave it there. And I really should have pushed that onto the shelf better, and I apologize to everyone who is cringing right now. We found these plates up here that happened to match this set down here, and of course needed to make sure that they were all together. So if somebody came in, they could find the entire set, because it was actually being sold as a set. So the fact that it was scattered all over the shelves was just not right, and somebody had to do something about it, and that somebody was us. It was 15 pieces, and I feel like we still failed to reunite all 15 pieces, but we did our best. Got a few teacups and saucers here. I do check the bottom. This is a Theodore Haviland piece. It's not one that I recognize, and I found it strange that it did not have a handle, but some teacups do not have handles. That is fact. Now I am looking very closely at these shelves because this happens to be where I found the fire and light the last time, and if I was to find it again, of course it would be in the same area, right? I mean, that just makes complete sense. I went to go grab this and realized that it was squishy, and so I proceeded to squish it a lot. And then I spotted this peeking out. What are the odds of that? I mean, really, if you look at it, the texture is correct. The color, I'm not really sure. I have looked at a lot of fire and light recently, and I have not seen 2 colors combined. The texture is correct, but I don't know. I'm on the fence about this piece. It is not signed. Not all of their pieces are signed. Not all of the fire and light pieces are signed. So I can't go off of that. And this piece is not as thick as the last piece. So I'm just not sure about this. Regardless of what it was only $2.99. It was a beautiful piece of glass. And either way, whether it is fire or light or not, I was pretty excited about it, I'm not gonna lie. Now Dagny found this nice piece of hand-painted Nippon. Now, unlike the other pieces, this piece is completely hand-painted, and for $1.99, that's a great deal. Beautiful piece. She took that with her, and a link to her eBay is down in the description. We've kind of developed this game of finding a turtle everywhere we go. The turtles were found in this video, just in case anyone was wondering. They were right there. I found these pieces interesting. I actually turned them over expecting them to be Target, and come to find out they were actually hand-painted pieces. They were nice. I mean, they weren't fabulous, they weren't super detailed, but they were nice. We've got some art glass over here on the other side of the shelf. Way too heavy to ship, and more than likely Chinese art glass. Not that all Chinese art glass is bad. There is some very, very nicely executed Chinese art glass, but there's a lot of not so great Chinese art glass, and that was one of them. Now, similar to Fire and Light, this is also a piece of recycled glass. It's not as desirable as Fire and Light. This is actually made in Spain. I have bought and sold this before, thinking, oh my gosh, this could be Fire and Light. This was obviously for sale at TJ Maxx for $4.99 at one point. This is wrap cash, in case anyone was wondering. I don't know what that is, but I considered taking off the W and making it wrap cash. But I was just joking. I actually made sure that I fixed that. There you go. Wrap cash. Dagny found this really nice candlestick. Now, I don't know if it's modern. I don't know if it's old. All I know is it is art glass. It has a pontil scar on the bottom, and it is a vibrant, vibrant yellow. I'm wondering if it glows by blacklight. I think it would be really cool. She wasn't going to take it. I convinced her to take it like any good friend would. This is really, really cool. So she ended up buying this for $1.99 because it was really neat. And she has yet to report back to me whether or not it glows, but I'm very interested to find out. I think she regrets sharing a cart with me though, because my stuff is encroaching on her stuff. I wasn't sure what this concoction of stuff was, but apparently it was intended to be that way, and the original price was $16.99. Whenever I see tags like that, I usually pass. That was interesting. Now, I wasn't quite sure what this was or why it was for sale, but I had to do a little investigating. It was a weighted base to something. We think it was a lamp at one point in its life. Now, I saw this creamer here. I liked the glaze on this. I found it interesting. Dagny pointed out that it kind of reminded her of milk chocolate, and I hadn't thought of that. I just thought, that's a really interesting glaze. It kind of reminds me of Nilowak or Nilok. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. But it was not marked on the bottom unless it was under that Goodwill sticker there. So I decided to grab that. I stuck it in my cart, and I figured I would research it later. Now here in the lamp section, I was looking for lamps and I spotted this Victorian era, turn of the century Bristol glass vase. Dagny found some Avon, bright chipmunk. I asked her if it smelled like chipmunks. Probably not. But I really liked this vase. I like these antique vases. They would have sat on mantles, usually in pairs. Unfortunately, only the single vase was there, but I like that satin milk glass, especially now that we're coming into winter. It's a nice color for winter, so I decided to grab it. And also, her teapot is still safe in the cart with all of my stuff. Just pointing that out. I liked the colors of this. I'm not sure what it is. The lines were nice. It wasn't marked. It stayed. Okay, I'm just going to point out that this is like the 6th time we've gone by that fish, and he just looks like so content. And then I spotted this, and Dagny assured me that this had been there the whole time when I came by the shelf earlier, and I just missed it. It's $1.99. It's shaped somewhat like a ginger jar. I guess you could call it a ginger jar. I like the colors of it, and I don't know how I missed it. Now, I did notice that there is a signature here on it, and I did end up putting it in my cart, though I don't know why I didn't capture that on video. Now I did spot art glass, wait for it, back here on the back of the shelf. And I had to pull it out and check it over. It's not a piece that I immediately recognized, and the quality wasn't the best, so I dismissed it. This was a giant picture, probably from a wash set. And then I found this, and this brought back childhood memories, very happy childhood memories. And I decided that I was going to then walk around the entire store with this bird balanced on my finger. And I made it happen. Now this creamer caught my eye. It is obviously marked on the bottom, though it is hard to read. I'm having trouble one-handed here. I did like the design on this, and I wish that I could make out that signature on the bottom. It was $1.99. I liked it, and for $1.99, I figured I could make 10 to 12 on it. I would take it. I spotted this fused glass tray. I like fused glass. I could do very well with it in some cases, depending on the artist. And this piece was signed. It looked like it had an acorn and the name Tom on it. I wish I knew who Tom was, because that would help in identifying the piece, but I'm not exactly sure. That just happened to be plastic. That was disappointing. This piece looked like it had some age to it. Unfortunately, there was no markings on the bottom. I like to see markings. If it's unmarked, it has to be exceptional. This was marked International Silver Company. It was clearly made of silver. Anyone who says differently is wrong. All right, well, my total spend there at the Goodwill was $23-ish. Dagny and I were just discussing how much was it? I think it was about $23. So I feel like that was pretty good for everything we got.
Yep.
Like maybe he forgot to scan a few things.
Like last time.
Like last time. So yeah, I wasn't really paying attention, but now that I think about it, I'm like, I feel like it should have been more than that. But yeah, we got some pretty good things, and we are at a new Goodwill now, so we're about to head in and see what we can find. But you guys, you have to wait until tomorrow for that. So we'll see you later. I almost ended this video without reminding you of the shirt campaigns that I am currently running. It is a limited time shirt campaign, and when I say limited time, it's like way more limited than my normal 3-week campaigns. This campaign is only a week long because it is Halloween themed, and I want to make sure that the shirts get out in time for Halloween. So there are 2 designs. There is a vintage illustration inspired Halloween shirt that really isn't Crazy Lamp Lady branded, but it's pretty cool. And the other shirt is Banana Box Antiques with a Halloween remix. So both of those shirts are available through bonfire.com. So if you order a shirt, it does not ship until the date I'm putting down below. And those shirts will ship in time for Halloween. That's why it's so short. But you can go check those out. There's a link for those down in the description. And I want to make sure that you guys hear about it before it ends, because it's so short, but I wanted to make sure it happened. So that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later. My family calls it my superpower. It's my ability to see value in things that other people might overlook.